And it is time to start our final run of the marathon. Here's Stray, any percent glitchless with MisterChowtime.
Hi everyone, I am MisterChowtime. Most people just call me Chowtime. Only one person really puts the Mister there, so feel free to just call me Chowtime. Today I will be running for you Stray, or as everyone I've ever met calls it, that one cat game. For what I'm doing, it's going to be any percent glitchless, so if you're having trouble getting the speedrun achievement for this game, this is going to be the guide that you can follow to just walk you through that. We're going to go as fast as we can without going out of bounds or any sequence skipping or anything like that. We're just going to have a good time. For that, if you do get any cat puns coming in, read them out. This is the cat game.
I am the person to read cat puns.
That is perfect. We're lined up perfectly.
I am literally a cat deep inside, so please get those donations in.
All right, but I think I'm about ready if we are ready for a countdown from anyone else. All right, let's start it up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Alrighty, there are going to be a few unskippable cutscenes in this. With the mods on, they usually look a bit funnier, so hopefully y'all enjoy them. We're going to start off with just our cat buddies up here in this cave, which, because of the mod, we'll see what they turn out to be, because yeah, they're all going to be Garfield. This cave hates Monday more than any other cave in the world, but it does love lasagna. There is a sequence that you need to interact with these cats in the beginning just because they do have travel time on them. So you want to get the two that are far away and then finish up with the one that's close to the little cardboard box over there, because just like all cats, we are just about to go take a nap. I can't think of a better way to start a cat game than to just take a nap. And as soon as this one finishes cleaning us, he's going to go lay down too. We just got to go wait for our side of the box, get a prompt, and then it'll take us into another cutscene. Alright, and there's the first part done. We're going to get our cutscene going, which is then going to take us into the tutorial for the game. The tutorial for the game is going to introduce you to the most important button of the entire game, and that's the meow button, because a game with a dedicated meow button should speak volumes.
Man.
Garfield sleeps with his eyes open canonically, right? There is a part at the beginning of the run that is going to have a pretty jank animation to it because of the mods, so I hope everyone gets to see that and enjoy that. But if we have any donations or anything like that, now's a good time for them.
We do not currently have any donations, but I expect them to roll in soon. A reminder, we are less than $200 away from setting a new 2-day record for fastest furs. So please get those donations in. Cat puns, meow requests, anything you want. Now is the time to do it.
The meow requests are going to be coming through because the end dialogue button is the same button as the meow button, so when you're spamming it to try to end the conversation, you will just hear it through the dialogue.
That just sounds like every time it happens, the audience needs to chime in. We got to talk to these cats, all right?
Everyone's going to be hoarse by the end, and I apologize for that then. I always think it's funny, you get to see some flowers pop in right there every single time. Alright, now out of the Garfields we see on the screen, we get to take control of one of them, and we actually get to go through the tutorial now. So most of this is just going to be running from point A to point B, especially in the tutorial area. There is a optimized path that you can take through it. Going suboptimal on it honestly doesn't lose you too much time, but we're all about going as fast as we can, right? This game has a jump mechanic that's a little different than you would expect. You have to kind of look where you want to jump, and the cat doesn't always want to look where you want to jump, but I feel like that's very cat-like behavior. Alrighty. And now we're almost through the tutorial area. I think just 2, maybe 3 jumps left, and then we'll have another cutscene, which everyone always refers to as the sad cutscene. It is a sad cutscene, and luckily it's not going to have the Garfield model swapped out for it, which would just make it hilarious. And we're going to have our cat here. This is the actual stray cat. Try to make the jump, and the pipe goes away. And then you have the Mufasa moment. And that meow is always so sad. It like just tugs at your heartstrings every time. Then you go from that sad cutscene, cat falls all the way down to just Garfield's back now. It was a stunt double. In all reality, he's not hurt, he just is hungry. He's on his way to go get some lasagna. In fact, with the Garfield mod on, I think that's entirely what this game is about, is just from start to finish is he doesn't have lasagna and he wants to go get it, and he goes through this entire journey to get his lasagna. So here we're going to see a little hint of the first enemies that are in the first half of the game. I believe they're called Zorks. Kind of like this parasite, they jump on you, they hurt you. Playing on controller is a handicap against them because the speedrun allows macros for keyboards on it, and to get them off of you when they jump on you is just to spam a single button, so they just allow turbo macros for that on keyboard. So hopefully I don't get grabbed too much, but if I do, I think my button spamming is good enough to get them off. Garfield has to strut for a second, and then it'll let us take full control again. Alright, there we go. Now the biggest thing when it comes to this category is just your pathing and knowing where you're going, knowing the solutions to the puzzles and stuff like that. The one that gets everybody when they first play the game casually is this one right here. And it's basically looks like you're supposed to go to the left here because that's where the barrels are going off to, but you're actually supposed to go right. I'm gonna jump through here. There's a bucket over here that I have definitely not forgotten many times in a run. And we just get to run our head face first in there. We'll stop that. We'll be a cat for a second. Cat for 2 seconds. Get off the corner. There we go. And then a cat for the 3rd time. This one is very cat-like because it will break something. And then one of the funnest things to do is to spin in the bucket, so you'll get to, if I'm good with my stick twirls, get to see that go really fast later in the run. So we see those little parasites there attacking this little robot dude, and they don't like them a lot. The robots hide from them. It's kind of the first half of the game, trying to get it where that doesn't happen as much. And we'll see why here in a second. So at this part, we took a wrong turn, go down an alleyway. There's a lot of them. These are the hostile creatures. Their whole goal was, I think, to get rid of organic life. This does take place in a post-apocalyptic world. And they were pretty successful on that, except for apparently cats. We run right past them because the first half of this is to have them jump away from you and not really target you too much. About here, they'll actually start trying to target you more. Take a left turn here, get past them, and that should make it safe for us to get to the end of this section without too much hassle.
Do we have time for any donations?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sweet. We have a $10 donation from House Mendoza that says, "Let's go, Chow Time! We believe in you! Time to make the freaking donuts!" We have a $50 donation from Oasis that says, "Sean, I believe you meant to say, right, meow is the time to do it." I'm very sorry. I will
fair.
sharpen my claws on my cat puns. We have a $23 donation from Bursic Badger that says, "You know we just need to get past $7,500 before this meow-a-thon is over." Oh, I'm having stomach upset already. We have $15 from Peach Ring Fox that says, means good luck, Chow Time, and Kitty Cat. And then we have a $5 donation from Deskin Saw. There is no comment, but it did bring us to $100 left before we set a new 2-day fastest furs record. I'm sorry, $90 left before a new 2-day fastest furs record.
Here is the jank animation where the head shakes way too much on any model except for the standard cat model. The worst offender being Spyro, who he gets down with his bad self, we'll just say that. Alrighty, we got a few sections left until we're into the first city. Well, I guess I should say the first populated city. But just a few more jumps and we'll be there. This part is always a pain because they do not want to jump up. They always want to jump back down, which is not too much of a time loss, but it's definitely not what you would want. Alright, and then coming up here, we're going to have very cat-like behavior that I'm sure everyone with a cat has had to happen once. To get past this part, we got to go stand on the keyboard. It will type different stuff depending on if you're standing still or not, which I think is hilarious. Once it does it 3 times, we're going to run away and get to this door. And we're about to be introduced to our little companion helper that will help us throughout the run. You want to start that one so it moves out of the way first. Grab the battery from up here. Plug it in here. Be a bit careful because those hitboxes are not the most forgiving on putting them in. And the last one is just up here. Good. It'll open up this secret bookcase behind us. There's a pod in here. It does explain the pods in the story later on, but we're going to make this a spoiler-free run as much as we can.
By the way, we just passed $7,500!
Woo!
Thanks in part to a $10 donation from Crazy Totem, no comment, but I appreciate it so much, and a $21 donation from Captain Kate that says, "For Garfield's Lasagna Fund," and $7,500. It's actually the price of the most expensive lasagna in the world. Only the best for our Garfield boy.
Only the best. None of that Stofers. I just want to state Crazy Totem is one of my good friends, and no comment is definitely on brand with his personality. So here we have introduced our little robot companion, B12. He kind of helps us interact with the world a lot. He translates for us. I don't exactly understand how he translates from robot language into cat, but he finds a way. He has a dedicated button too, which luckily means that anytime we have to have him interact with something, it's just one button. And this is where we're going to have spamming skip and end at the same time. And you'll start to hear the cat meowing in the background while I'm doing that. Also, anyone that has a cat knows that the moment you put clothes on them, this is accurate. It'd be kind of funny if it stayed that way for longer, but it also would kind of kill the speedrun. And this is my worst part of the whole run, is remembering this door code.
I just gotta say, this is unrealistic. This is not how my cat acted when I taped an iPhone to its shoulders, okay?
To be fair, it's a whole jacket that it's wearing. It's just the model obscures most of it.
This is why he hates Mondays.
Oh, I lost it. Alright, I might be able to carry some momentum from it. Good. We find a postcard on the wall here. It reminds us of the outside world and how much we want to go back to the outside world now that we fell down this hole. The cat has very, very complex emotions in this game. Alright, we got another bucket here, so. Oh, that's one of my favorite parts of the game, is just being able to do that. Alright, we're now going to be entering the city where we get to see our storyline progress. They've never seen a cat before, so they see me and they kind of freak out. To be fair, if I saw Garfield just walking down the street in real life, I would have the same reaction. And for this, you can just walk right into this door. The game doesn't care, just lets you go through it. This cutscene usually cuts to your cat just looking super cute with like the glowing eyes, and it's going to look hilarious as Garfield. So we have this one guy that didn't run away. He's going to be the first one that talks to us. We try talking to him. He no idea what he says. And then we start translating. We're just going to skip through it all. He'll eventually tell everyone we're good. We're not going to go after him. Opens the city back up, and then we have to get a little quest from him that will allow us to start the process of escaping the city. By the way, I love the fashion that all the robots have. They all have like a unique fashion to them, and like the guy with the vest, he always looks so good when he comes out. I'm just going to spam the interact there. He tells us to go up to that tower. We're not going to listen to him because going up to the tower right away is slow. So we're just going to go this way instead. What we want to do is gather up all these notebooks that are around the environment, because giving him all the notebooks, the guy up in the tower, will progress the quest. So rather than go talk to him and him telling us to go get the notebooks, we're just going to go get them first, and then go talk to him, so it's a one interaction instead of multiple. For the most part, you want to avoid walking on pipes like this because you do not get to run on them, but on that one, you don't really have a choice. And then we're going to go in this apartment here. Jump on these books because we need to knock or get something behind them afterwards. Interact with that from afar, get the keys, turn back around, use the keys on this safe, and now pick up the notebook from in the safe. And then the last apartment has definite cat-like behavior to it. It's one of the things that introduces you to a few mechanics that are used throughout the run. And get on top of this building. Grab the battery off the wall because we want to stop this fan so we can jump down in from above. And not this one, but this one. Has another notebook in it. Oh no. There it goes. I've never had the notebook get caught in the lid like that.
Do we have time for a couple donations?
Oh yeah.
We have a $50 donation from Anonymous that says, thanks to the leadership team for running the event. They've been working non-stop behind the projector throughout this entire marathon, and they're the best. Can we get a round of applause for the hardworking team back here? I'm saving it for credits, but so many people working so hard to make this event possible. I really appreciate it. We have a $25 donation from Flap that says, I couldn't think of any cat puns, so... And we have a $5 donation from Lori D. Bunnykins that says, this is the worst Monday ever. It is not the worst Monday, though, because with those donations, any money we donate past this point is setting a new record for 2-day Fastest Birds events. This is the time to get that money in, become a part of history, set a new record.
Alright, so in that cutscene, what he was doing is he is building a transponder so that he can send a signal up to the outside world. Because that's where he thinks all his friends have gone, and he wants to be able to communicate with them. Got another bucket. And this is, I don't know what to call these chapters specifically, but they're kind of designed as dungeons for the game. Where it's more enemy focused than just fetch quests, because a lot of it is just fetch quests for the other stuff. But this area is definitely more enemy focused. There will be a few more like this throughout the game. But we do not have the ability to fight the enemies at the moment, so we're just going to run past them all. And anytime you see these barrels, it's always kind of like trying to get the car out of the block maze puzzles that we all had to do when we were younger. And then coming up, it's going to be a part where we kind of go against what the developers intended for this section, but it's way faster and for the most part safe, so we're going to go for it anyways. You're supposed to trap the enemies in that cage right there, but we're just going to get in this and try to squish them. A few of them should get through, but it shouldn't be any big deal. And once we get it far enough ahead, use that to just jump over them and continue. We're going to do that one more time in this level too, though the next one is a lot tighter and may require a load point reload. But for the moment until that part, if anyone has any cat puns or anything like that, feel free to read them out.
We have one new donation from Cherry Dad for $9 that says, 7,600! So glad to be a part of this event with my Hades run, and congrats to all the other runners. We are at 7,600. Can we hit 8K?
Ooh, the challenge has been put out there.
We've got less than an hour to do it, chat.
That was actually a very good section there. Usually at least one of those will grab you. Alright, so here's the next barrel section. If they notice me too quick, then it's a reload, but I think I got it fine. I'm just going to do a little bit of rocking. Once it's in that box, we're good. So he gave us the transponder earlier. Our whole goal right now is to put that on the top of the biggest building in the area so that it will have a better signal, which is why we're climbing to the top of this building. I wouldn't really call this a boss section, but it's kind of the boss section of this area where we pull this lever down, it alerts a lot of the enemies and they all kind of try to come get us. However, what a lot of people that play this game don't know is these enemies just jump off the edge most of the time. A few of them may grab you, but if you just walk around along the edge like this, most of them will just jump right past you. What we're trying to do is time it so that that elevator is not on the ground very long before we go jump for it. So just like that. And once we're in here, we're safe because then we can jump over the gate. We just got an elevator ride going to the top. Playing it pretty safe there. Once we're at the top, we're going to be able to drop off our quest item. And then we have, I think, the longest bucket ride down of the whole game, even if it does cut out halfway through. So we're going to try to go for Mach 5 on that one. Alright, now we're going to have another little cutscene play out here. Just showing that everything is connected up and working. And then you can already see the line going down there, showing where the bucket is going to zip down. And then B12 is going to start talking to us about how he's starting to remember stuff, because B12 has amnesia and has no idea what's going on pretty much. And the whole game tracks progress by how much of his memories you unlock. But we're not going to listen to him. But you will see the percentage come up here in a second. This was the warning I gave about meowing through the dialogue. Alright, so we got 2 of the 5 main memories done there. Oh, I lost it.
We have a $202 donation from Team Fastest Furs that says, Team Fastest Furs here, from all of us here on the staff and leadership team, thank you to everyone watching here at FWA and everyone watching at home and on Twitch. This donation represents all of the revenue that you have generated this weekend with your Twitch subs, bits cheered, and shirt purchases. You all are amazing, and we are overwhelmed at your continued support of our efforts. See you in a few months for Fall Fest 2023. Do you think we can get to 8K?
Woo! I think we can.
Less than $200, chat. I know we can do this.
So what we did there was we ran up to these workers that were tossing paint cans across the roof and meowed at them at the right time to distract them so that they would drop a paint can, which causes the laundromat owner to run out and yell at them because we need a quest item later that is in there. And we're about to have a forced walking section that we can just run in there as we go past and pick up that item rather than having to get it later. So he's checking his signal now to see how it goes. He wants us to jump up there and see too. We have a lot of meowing going on now. And then we find out where we need to go is like in a very hostile area that we're not going to be able to get through unless we find some way to fight back pretty much. And the guy that's walking away, his dad was working on a way to fight back against the enemies, but his dad disappeared. So now we got to go talk to him and see if we can figure out any of his dad's research or anything like that. And now we have the forced walking section where once again our walk speed is faster than his, which means we have to just go very slow for him. If there is anything to read, feel free.
We are at $7,900, $7,928. We have a $98 donation from Michael McCaw saying, I just realized I didn't donate yet. Thank you so much for having me, and let's hit that 8K. And we have a $27.70 donation from Non-Binary Code that says, if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's this. Meow. Also, quite possibly, boop. Here, have some 7s for good luck, and a 2, just because. We are less than $70, I'm sorry, just over $70 away from hitting $8 grand. Let's do it.
So just like the polite cat we are, we knocked on his door, he didn't answer, so we're just going to let ourselves in anyways. We show him the note that the guy gave us, which tells us there's a secret room in this place. We knock this picture off the wall and it reveals a door panel. That one is super easy to remember and still have messed it up definitely a few times. But this box up here has a transmitter in it again. This one is specifically coded to go to where his dad is apparently held up. However, it is broken. So we once again have a little bit of a fetch quest to get it fixed up and ready to go. There's nothing you can do to speed him along while he's doing that. So we kind of just got to wait for him. He likes that we found it. He says he has no idea how to fix it, so he gives the duty of fixing this to a cat. But we pull through. I don't think it's the most responsible choice, but we do what we can. Also, if you run through this paint, you do leave footprints afterwards, which I think is very good attention to detail. The only problem is they don't change with your model, because I think it would be hilarious to see larger footprints there now. So we give him the laundry detergent so that we can get the electric cable. Getting the electric cable then lets us take that to Granny, who will knit us a sweater. Once we have the sweater, we can then take that to another robot that is cold, who will then fix our transmitter for us. Alright, so we got the sweater there. We go up to this door. We want to scratch it to get them to open it. You can just run straight through that door, but it is considered a glitch, so it can't be done in the glitchless area. And then this guy is the cold one. We're just going to spam.
We just hit $8,000! With the help of a $72 donation that says, oops, 8,000.
I'll throw a few meows in there.
That was from Non-Binary Code. Thank you so much.
If there were any more donations that helped towards that, feel free to read them out, because we're in another forced walking section.
This is the time. Your donation will get read.
So we fixed his transmitter, and it's actually receiving a signal, which caught him off guard. So now we're just going to have to follow him around while he figures out where it leads. If you go too far away from him, he will stop walking, but I think we won't lose it. So I'll go ahead and do this, where you can just interact with this bag and it gets stuck on your head. It gets very hard to control because of it. Oh, I didn't stay close enough. But there we go. There we go. physics in this game are not always the best. They do lead to cool stuff like that. There is sometimes when you're jumping down from a shelf, if you land on a box, that it will just catapult the box across the room. So this area is locked off behind one of these heavy-duty doors because there are a lot of nasty enemies, bacteria-type enemies, the Zorks, back here. That we're going to go once again into their domain to try to rescue his dad. This also has an area where a very cool mod can be installed. Just if you're using a character mod, you can't see the other mod. So unfortunately we don't have it on this one, but he gives us a pin here to show that we're like part of the freedom fighters. And you can replace that pin, which is constantly showing on your character model, with the trans flag, which is a really cool mod to have on there. Alright, so once more into the Zork's territory. This time to go rescue his dad. This area is fairly simple, just wherever the enemies are, you want to kind of go away from them. And they should all jump right past you. I'm going to ignore my advice and stay right on this one and try to just make them miss, because it's quicker as long as they don't grab you. Luckily only one did there. And this one we got to run straight through them anyways because they spawn where we need to go, so we just button mash through it. When you're doing those, it looks like you're just jumping back and forth, but it's specifically so the pole carries momentum so that it'll go in a different direction. And then we got Mario Kart real quick. Right, Garfield Kart is actually a game. I should have just gone with that. This is another one of the sad areas where the cat limps around. I would love if there was a way to speed it up, but no one has ever found a way to speed past the limping sections. Now we're just going to climb up here, which will then take us to the main area of this level. So we have this hut over here with a bridge that's out on it. We just got to go across it, jump in the back side of the hut, which will then allow us to see the mad scientist that lives inside. And then because we're skipping dialogue, and dialogue or movement is based to dialogue for the characters, you'll see him zip around a few times. He tells us that his gun is useless and we have no need for it, so we're just going to go play with it like responsible cats. He then tells us the only way to make it work is with an obscene amount of power that he cannot provide from his house, so we have to go give him more power. He's going to open this window up for us, which will then kind of give us the boss section for this area. I say boss loosely. There are no real boss enemies in this. It's all just minor enemies. So we follow the cables, which will lead us to where we can put the fuse in and restore power for him. And then for this next part, even on a casual playthrough, like, you don't have to go fast to run past everything here. It is very lenient on it for the most part. But the enemies are going to spawn up. Once you go across the bridge, he starts trying to target you more rather than just kind of randomly sweeping the arena, which will give you a little bit of help on running past. But you'll hear me meowing a lot as I run past, so that I'm just constantly spamming B in case they grab me. And there's that section. And he's going to come in and give us a celebratory dance. He's a lot more limber than you would expect.
This is the weirdest Rick and Morty episode I've ever seen.
I know, right? There is a chance of a soft block happening here if you go too fast, but if it does, you can load the last save point and it's like a second lost. Okay, did not soft block, we're good. Sometimes when he gives you that item, he will just stand there afterwards and refuse to move. Of all my practice runs, it's only happened twice, but twice is enough that, you know, marathon luck sometimes. And he's going to give us a little talk about being responsible with the weapon he just gave us, and then we're going to immediately use it without listening to him. So what happens there is you have a UV light, which these orcs are weak to, and you can use that to fight back against them, which is good, except that you only get to keep it through 2 levels. The end of this one and the next one. So we run forward here. It stops us and makes us wait for him. He's going to try to open the door and it's not going to work because once again, he has no power. It seems to be a common theme in his life. So we're just going to solve the barrel puzzle. If we push it all the way over here, there will be a little vent up at the top that's going to allow us to jump into. With the barrels, there's not really much speed tech that you can do with them outside of staying close to the edge of the barrel so that you can get out quicker because it slows your movement. Alright, so we restored power. That lets us out of this room. There are enemies in here already. We're going to try to run past here as fast as we can to get that door open, because what starts this next section is getting all the enemies off of him so that he can run inside. And outside that, the only thing that you can really do to speed up this section is stay close to him when you're about to finish it, because you have to go talk to him at the end.
Do we have time for 2 quick donations?
Oh yeah, we're about to go into a walking section.
We have an anonymous $20 donation that does not have a comment, but thank you for helping set an even higher record. We also have Ian Keith donating $69, nice, saying everyone did a really nice job this weekend. I'm so proud of everyone here. Let's finish strong. Thank you both.
I dare say the jobs everyone did were very close to perfect. This area does allow us to run ahead, but it does nothing. And I find it's best just to stay near him because it's probably copium, but I think it makes him move faster. Because he does just like to stand at that door sometimes. And we're going to have another cutscene here where son is reunited with his father and they're both really happy. Which a cute thing about this game is all the emotions and all that just blink across their face like this occasionally. And then the shaman dude is going to wish us good luck on our journey. B12 is going to talk to us one more time, and then we're off to the final section of the first city. Oh, spammed a bit too fast there. So this final section is the area where most people that are playing the game kind of have a big what the hell moment on it, because it goes from a cute cat game to like, oh, what's the term, Lovecraftian horror. But That'll come up here in a second. This is a boat ride where nothing is, well, stuff is said, but we don't pay attention to it. But very slow boat ride, one thing to do in the middle of it. Not really going to have a whole lot there.
That sounds like a perfect time for donations to come in.
I think so too.
We don't have any yet, but that nice number could be rounded up to 8,100, I think.
Otherwise, there will just be meowing incessantly. That's the only thing I can do to fill the void here.
I feel like if we could translate it, we'd just hear him going, John, John, John.
Everyone always thinks Garfield disliked John. No, Garfield loved John. He only disliked that he leaves.
I'm sorry, Garfield, but when it comes to speedrunning, there's no Johns.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there is a character in the game named John either. If there was, that'd be pretty funny. Alright, so we're about to be at the midway point here where I'm going to actually have something to do. Alrighty, so once again, we got to go pull a switch. And this time it's actually to lift a gate though and not to restore power, so totally a different objective. We're going to run left here as much as possible to avoid setting those off. A few of them are unavoidable to set off, but we're just going to take them out as they come. As long as we beat him before he turns this corner, we're fine. Let there be light. So we have a few enemies up top there. They're just going to stare at us. They're not going to do anything. We're trying to get through that door over there. I'm sure he's going as fast as he can. He just doesn't know we're in the middle of a speed run, so he's doing his best. Alright, we're almost there now. As soon as we get around this corner, it will take us into a cutscene here in a moment where he goes to open up the door, but while trying to open the door, he loses power. A very common problem. And there we go. So we're just going to spam the dialogue skip buttons because there's no extra interactions you can get out of here, so you just get to spam them as much as you want. Alright, so door is unlocked now, however it is not up and out of the way, so he's going to have to do that manually, which means he cannot go forward with us. And the scariest thing is here, you would definitely drown if you fell in this water because it's so absolutely deep that there's no way you could possibly stand anywhere near it. And we're going to skip the dialogue and just spam jump, and we'll actually clip through the door a little bit. And here's where it goes H.R. Geiger on us. But this area is, I would say, probably the roughest part of the game, or maybe the last level, but one of these two. The good news is this area has very liberal load points, so if you do mess anything up, you can reload it, and it doesn't lose much time. It will actually be a time that we're going to reload a few saves coming up, because it's marathon safe versus world record attempt, where world record attempt is definitely faster not to reload the saves, but it is inconsistent. So we're going for a consistent one. I'm going to stay right to avoid them as much as possible. Cut left. Get on that switch. Stay left and run past them.
We have a $21 donation from Coffee Fly that says, "It's been a fun Saturday, but it's nice to relax with Cat Game."
It is.
We also have an $11 donation from Tater Shovel that says, "Round numbers make better calculations." It's not round anymore. We gotta get it up to 8,200 now.
Alright, this is the area where I will be reloading a save, because what I'm doing here is I run past everything, that leaves everything in a trail behind me, and then as soon as I cross this bridge I have to turn immediately around, so that is not ideal to deal with, but reloading the save just despawns everything. So now when we turn around, none of it is still there. We're gonna just aim this down. And that room is probably one of the hardest rooms on the casual playthrough, but once you have the load strategy, it becomes quite easy. Now here is the big WTH moment for most people, is this cutscene, which is another unskippable one. So we have B12 going forward to investigate, and he sees all this weird stuff and kind of gets lost in the sauce and totally forgets that he's there to help us and protect us, and we get attacked pretty badly in the cutscene. But luckily B12 does snap out, realizes what's going on and comes to help us. However, in doing so, overloads his power source so that we lose the weapon that we have against them. Now we just gotta do a classic Metroid escape sequence. Which that spot there, if you have a model on B12, because you can swap B12's model too, you will just clip through the ground and not be able to continue. We got one little more room to run through. We kind of just want to hold left the whole time on this room. There will be enemies that spawn up left, but usually you can just spam past them and it'll be fine. And it's quicker than trying to go the other way. Alright, so that is the end of that level, where most people have trouble on their casual playthroughs, but once you know the love strat, like I said, it kind of makes it a lot easier. Now B12 is not responsive, so we gotta revive him. As everyone, good cat owner knows, you just slap it in the face until it wakes up. So we get B12 to stop this fan, and we get to start actually making our way towards the outside area before immediately having to abandon that for a second. And then coming up here, we're going to have another cutscene where B12 realizes something drastic about his past, but trying to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, seeing as I can skip every piece of dialogue, so, you know, anyone that was wanting to play, you can still have the spoiler for yourself. But as I said, the pods that we saw in the beginning of the game were important, and this is the scene they're important in. So if you can read really, really fast, then you won't, you'll get the spoiler still. This is really just a reading comprehension test for anyone in the audience. Alright, we got another core memory. B12 is very distraught right now and doesn't want us to talk to him, he says, but then he talks to us constantly through this. So here's the guy we were looking for. He will tell us more about the note that the first guy gave us and tell us if it's actually possible to get back outside. And he tells us, yes, it is. You have to go to this area. Once you're in this area, someone else will help you along. And that bucket there is interactable and right next to where you're supposed to go. And if you jump in it, it will drop you down to the bottom of the tower, and you have to spend like a few minutes getting back up. So that's why I am very careful and turn around to interact with the ladder so that it doesn't target it, because it targets where you're looking, not necessarily where you're holding the analog stick to.
We have a $69 donation
Nice.
from Alan the Cookie Dragon. I know him. Hey, bud. Who goes, what did the dragon do after adventurers stole their hoard? They decided to just let life drag on. Keep being awesome, Fastest Furs. That makes us $10 away from 8,200. We only got like half an hour left in this run. I think we can do it.
$10 would make it a nice even number again, right?
Unless someone were to donate 11 and then we didn't have a round number and then we need to go up again. I'm just saying, math is hard, okay? It's 12:09 in the morning. I don't trust anyone to be able to calculate right now.
That is fair. I know that I'm not able to. Alright, so now we are in Midtown. It is not so much of the slums as the first area was. It's a bit fancier looking, has some nice hotels, shops, stuff like that. And we gotta go find Clementine. Clementine is another one of the freedom fighter type people that is in Midtown, has made it further than anyone else, but is not able to progress further because the security for the items she needs is too high. She's not able to get past it, so she's going to employ the help of a cat. And one of the things the cat needs is a cassette tape from this guy, so we're just going to talk to him to get that quest real quick. And now we're going to do most of his side quest, which is just, shouldn't call it a side quest because it's required, is to destroy these cameras here. We do them in this order because then when we're running back, we can get the third one since we have to backtrack through here. But you just jump on them once, they'll fall off. They cannot handle the weight of Garfield, and who could blame them? Then we're going to go in here. We're going to get jump scared. Just seeing Garfield not emote do that is strangely satisfying. Now we're going to give Clementine the photo that we were given that lets her know that we're part of the Freedom Fighters. While she's moving where she needs to, we're going to mess with this and pull this drawer out because we need that later. We're going to run in here and talk to Clementine again. She tells us that we need to go talk to a man in a jacket. If we go talk to that man in the jacket, he's going to tell us he needs a few items so he can pass as a security officer. So instead of talking to him first, we're just going to go grab those items. I'm going to run through here, this last camera now. And then we're going to go talk to the guy on the bottom floor again, who is so helpful for us helping him that he's going to give us his mixtape. I'm sure it's available on Spotify nowadays. But now we're going to go through the steps to get the items that we need to pass as a security officer. Which for my production crew in the back, there is a sound warning coming up here in a second. We're going to insert that cassette tape we got into a stereo, and it plays way louder than the rest of the game when you put it in. And the point of that is we're trying to distract the shopkeep who hates loud music, so he runs to turn it off so we can go steal something. But I'm running in the back here, and it's going to be the audio warning. Alright, audio warning is over. We are away from it. It still gets decently loud, but not anywhere near as overzealous as it is. So the guy we was a real cat to and just knocked bottles onto his head is supposed to be working. and moving this singular box inside that room, why his coworker here has refused to do that. He just flat out won't, so you have to wake the other guy up, who will come back, pick you up, and take you inside where you can grab that security hat that's in the window. If you try to do it without sitting in the box, the guy sitting there leaning against the wall tells you you're not allowed inside and will just not let you pass. These people seem a lot less affected by the fact a cat randomly showed up as the people in the slums. They seem kind of just okay with it. Never really explains why.
We have an $11 donation from Tater Shovel that says, "There, a nice round no." We gotta do it. This isn't pumping gas. We gotta have it be nice and round. Let's go. We gotta get to 83 now.
Counting is hard. Alright, we have given him all the stuff that he wants now. He's going to pretend to be a security guard and put us in a box. And once we're in the box, he's going to carry us inside the security area. I'm not sure how Garfield's model is going to look in this box. I know some of the models just clip heavily outside the box. Like if you have the Spyro model, his head is just sitting outside the box.
We have a $10.69 donation from Cash that says, "Rock out, fastest first."
Alright, and if we can jump out quick enough, we'll make a good cycle here. Yes, it's behind the security drone so it doesn't see us. That being said, we don't care if these see us most of the time, because their aim is either immaculate or horrible, and there's no in between, and those are usually horrible, so you just run past them and hope for the best. Oh, but from here on out, we're not going to have any of the Zorks to worry about anymore. We're just going to have the Sentinels here, which are just these robots that will try to shoot us. They are, once again, either stormtroopers with their aim or like elite trained snipers, and there seems to be no in between. But seeing as we're running to a barrel on the end, once we get in the barrel, we kind of just have them lose track of us so we can just continue forward, as long as they don't see you on the other side of the barrel before you start moving it.
So I just want to point out, Cherry Daddy's here in chat trying to get an $11 donation train going. There's about 290 of you watching. We got 30 minutes left. If one of you donated $11 every minute, we could pass 8,500 before the end of this marathon.
Oh, that's bad. We'll see how this goes. Might go very poorly. I'm gonna have to kind of just avoid this guy because he ran in here when he's not supposed to. I need him to go away. Okay. Oh, nope, I did not deactivate him. That tube, raising and lowering, will lag the game very bad. I dare say it's kind of catastrophic to your frame rate.
You saying too much would put your game on pause?
But I thought we had a good back and forth, right, Meow? I think that's the last bucket in the game, too, and it's a short one, which is sad. Alright, so we got the battery that Clementine was wanting. We're going to go give it back to Clementine and say, hey, here's your battery, thanks for helping us. However, for a reason we do not know yet, there are a lot of Sentinels in Clementine's apartment building now. And if we're lucky, we can get a good cycle and kind of just run past them. And there's one that we're purposely going to run through just because it's faster than trying to avoid it. And usually you can get it to get caught up on these stairs here. Just like that. This one's going to see us, and it's going to be the second time we do a load manipulation. We're going to try to go in here. I forgot to interact. And Clementine has left us a note saying that it wasn't safe here anymore and left us coded message as to where she went. So we're going to interact with the things that are on the coded message. And I missed the jump there. So that's why we messed with the towel earlier to open that drawers, because we have to get up here for one of the items. Oh, come on. Alright, so we got all the coded messages now. It says, I'm with Blazer at the nightclub or something like that. So now we got to go to the nightclub. And now that we have them all, I'm going to go ahead and reload the last save, because that robot that I ran past, the sentinel that was trying to get me, is just sitting at that window waiting and will insta-kill you when you jump out the window. So now we're just going to run back out. He will no longer just be staring at that window. And we can just reverse. We will have the one and only tactical meow of the game, where we run in this corner, meow, and it will get the attention of the drone underneath us so that we can just run past. That is the only time in the run that a meow is actually...
First try, let's go! Also, we have a $12 donation from Ian Keith that says, I wanted to join the $11 trade, but I'm slow and bad at math. Send help!
In this area, I'm sure everyone has one. That one friend that's like, hey, I stole the toilet paper dispenser off the wall. And it's like, why would you even do that? That guy's in this club too. It's just not a toilet paper dispenser. And he will only give you a lever that he stole off of a machine for some reason if you give him a cocktail. Now we can take that lever, come over here, interact with the wrong thing, put the lever on. Which will then take us up to the rafters, where we're going to do some Assassin's Creed parkour for a second. I'm going to hit these buttons to drop the rafters where we want them to be. He also has a very nice top hat. Alright, now we turn this corner and we find out, surprise! Clementine has been captured. She is not hanging out with the Blazer guy. Blazer guy has actually betrayed us and ratted us out to the Sentinel so that he would be safe.
Oh no. Oh no. We have an $11 donation from Shripe that says, I can't take any more of these puns because they're no longer amusing. I'm sure chat's feline tired of them. You're right, maybe we do need to put a pause on them, but I'd like to see what the end of this marathon entails. Thanks for the positive energy, Sonic Mega.
Oh, those are all wonderful.
I feel like that took away one of my 9 lives just reading through that.
Alright, so we bust our cage open. We're in prison now, by the way. They put a cat in prison. But, as everyone knows, you cannot contain a cat.
We have a $13 donation from Oasis that says, did I do it right? Oh, hamburgers. Now we just need a $14 donation and a $15 donation. How wrong can we count to 10 tonight?
That was closer than I wanted it to be. Alright, seeing as we lost B12 when we went into the prison, we can no longer understand what the robots are trying to say to us. But luckily, the thing that they need is directly across the hall from them. It's going to be one of the few times that we get to use the dedicated cat interact button, which is Y instead of X, because X is for B12. On the keyboard and mouse setup, they do allow you to do different mapping for the buttons for in dialogue and stuff like that too, not just the macros, which makes it where you don't have to do the meowing while skipping dialogue. But honestly, I think that's part of the charm of the game, the dedicated meow button, especially spamming it incessantly. Clementine is very cautious here. You gotta give her some encouragement. Her walk speed is actually a lot better than all the other people's though. So Clementine now has keys to the security facility and is gonna help us escape. Clementine wants to go this way. However, there will be a cutscene where we, using our feline features, persuade them not to go this way. And that's just by meowing constantly at them. Even without me spamming the meow button, it will do it like 2 or 3 times.
This is getting great. We have Alan the Cookie Dragon donating $14, saying 11, 12, 13, 14. That's how you count, Ian Keith. Just some positive feedback that's perfect for you. Not trying to be catty with you, but I'm really feline the cat puns. We are less than $50 away from 8,300, and less than 20 minutes away from the end of the run. I think you know what the better option is.
So we saw B12 down there in his own containment cell, separate from everything else and surrounded by sentinels. But us being a cat, which is known to drastically care for their friends and their owners, we decided to go save him. Also, you will have Clementine's model glitch out here sometimes and just disappear. Oh, but we didn't get that this time. She kind of just pops out of existence when it happens.
Yoshi86up donates $14.01 and says, "Heyo everyone, congratulations on the success of the live marathon. By the way, I'm doing it right. Right? You're doing great. Everyone loves you."
That was a good cycle. That is the one sentinel that is guaranteed to get you no matter what if you run through its beam. In this area, a lot of people in their casual playthrough really want to play cautious through it, but fortune favors the bold, so we're just going to run right past this guy, cut through here, go there, and run straight to him and avoid all the sentinels. And we just got to get behind this one and wait for a good cycle to get out that door, and then just run. There is no avoiding that one. Okay, that area went well. Usually I have a death there. There's a chance for a soft lock to happen here too if you go too fast, so I am ready to reload the save if I have to. Alright, if Clementine starts moving, okay, we're good, no soft lock. So we're gonna just push these bricks off because we want Clementine to just like bust the glass out above so we can jump through.
We have a $17 donation from Ian Keith that goes, "See, I can count, Alan. Please insert witty cat puns here. If it fits, if I fits, I sits." Is that one?
And I think we can scratch that one up as a good one.
We are $7 away from 8,300. Come on, chat.
We are almost escaped from the prison too, and once we escape from the prison, there are no more combat sections. So this area, what we want to do is just trap the sentinels in these side rooms. I definitely did not play through this game like 30 or 40 runs without realizing that you can just run out the bottom and tried to time it the entire time. In fact, it was about a week ago when my boyfriend was watching me play and was like, why don't you just run out the bottom? It's like, because you can't. And then just... Sometimes it's nice to get a fresh pair of eyes on a problem. Now, depending on the pattern here, we might have the second tactical meow with the run.
We have a $5 donation from Likeable Mouse that says, hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. Loving the marathon. You could say it's perfect. With all this excitement, I'm going to need a cat nap after this. Which brings us to $2 away from 8,300.
That was a really clean section. We only got one more room with any type of combat in it, and it is the room that makes me say that the sentinels are either snipers or stormtroopers, because you have to run away from 3 of them at once. And though it is particularly coded to not have them be that accurate in that moment because you're just running away, they are scarily accurate sometimes. So Clementine's like, we got to find a way out. Being the cat that we are, we start playing with the keys in the car, and it gives Clementine an idea. However, there's a gate in the way, and at this point they've learned that this cat has godlike intelligence and will understand that we need to open the gate. So we're going to go up to this area here. And we got the lever on the left here, which is also going to spawn all the enemies in. Avoided the first one. The second one definitely did see us. We got past it though, which leaves us to these last 3 that will start shooting at us as we run out of the tunnel. And just kind of hope and pray, and that should be good then. Okay. Now we have 1 cutscene, or sorry, 2 cutscenes and 1 small area left, and we'll be done. This is one of the few pre-rendered cutscenes in the entire game. I think there's only 3. And this is when Clementine sadly sacrifices herself to pull the sentinels away from us so that we can escape. She gives us the key to the subway train that we are trying to escape on, and then drives away to keep the sentinels away from us. Now we're going to go power the subway, turn it on, drive to our final destination, do a few things there, watch a cutscene, and then do one last final walking section to get us out of this place.
We have a $3 anonymous donation that says, just to mess with you guys, love the runs, which took us over 8,300! And we have a $10 donation from, I need to pronounce this correctly, Crisp Rat, which says, hello chat, it's me, Garfield. Meow.
So now we are on this train. This train is taking us to... I can't think of a good way, like... Think of any dystopian movie where everyone lives in the slum except for the really rich people. We're now going to the rich people area. Not a whole lot of optimization you can do in this area, but there is a few areas when you're interacting with stuff that starts a cutscene that lets you move through the cutscene. But that's really where the optimization is going to come from for this area. So we're going to interact with that so it starts following us. Interact with this because you can't actually do anything by yourself on it. You have to use both these panels at the same time, but as a cat, we cannot reach this one. So we want to move that there so we can. Jump up here. And just like a good electrician, this fixes everything. We finished before him, so good timing. And now we're in the control room for the entire facility that we're in. And we are going to open up the doors. Because if you remember in the beginning of the game, when we got the weapon that could fight back against the Zorks, it was high intensity UV that was able to combat them. So if we open up all the doors in the ceiling, it should clear out the infestation. So B12 is trying to figure out how to do that right now. Turns out there are quite a few steps to it, but none of them too bad. First one is we got to turn all the computers on. Accidentally turned one off there, but we'll turn it back on. Oh. There we go. Or not. There we go. And the last three are all grouped together. B12 is still trying to figure it out. Turns out there's still 3 panels that we have to hack. We get this in control, but it locks us out. I like how in the background you can just hear the cat like meowing, like, come on, get through it already. First one we're going to do is knock this board over, which will reveal that panel. And scratch it up, which then lets us hack this to remove that lock.
We have a $1 donation from Likeable Mouse that goes, I'm sorry, John. I'm just so hungry.
We're almost there. Garfield is about to get his lasagna. Oh, come on.
Would it be possible for them to mod it so when the doors open, there's just the biggest plate of lasagna ever seen by mankind?
You know, they've done some pretty good work with the mod on this game. The modding community for this game has a lot of mods for it, so it would not surprise me. And that's the last interact right there. However, B12 is going to fry his power cells with that last one and is no longer able to move, so we have to carry him to the control station. Be careful because that prompt likes to disappear a lot. And now, sadly, in this moment, B12 tells us that for him to unlock the station and let everyone out, he will use the last bit of his power and he will not survive it. He takes the backpack off us that he gave us at the beginning of the game so that we can live free again. And then opens the station. It's not quite as sad with Garfield just holding his eyes open through it all, but it still tugs at you. Now we get to see the station open up. Purifying sun comes by and cleanses all the infestation out. And for a reason that I'm sure there is in the lore that I've never found, it also disables all the security drones. Now, I'm going to say the sun doesn't disable them, but the fact that we shut off all the security systems to the place, that disabled them. Even though they're definitely still active when we see them here. And all I got left to do is to walk outside the building, and I will let you know when time is. And it will be coming up in about 10-15 seconds, so be ready. Officially, time ends whenever you lose control of the cat, so I'll let you know when that is. And time.
Just so you know, we have a $57 donation from Oasis that says, what happened to my pipe? Garfield! And that brings us to $8,369.
Nice. All right, well, that was Stray. Hopefully I didn't lead y'all astray in running that in front of you. Good little walkthrough to get you through your speedrun achievement if you haven't had it. I'm curious as to... Oh, that's a new personal best for me. Okay then, I did not expect to get a PB on it, but I'm very happy I did. For thank yous on it, I would say... Thank you to FWA for having us, of course. Thank you to Fastest Furs and all the production crew. Getting to work with you all this weekend has been amazing. Been a good learning experience, especially on audio stuff, with Shock over there probably having the time of his life. Been a lot of fun. Got to give a thank you to all my friends that donated. Crazy Totem, the Mendoza family, Petring Fox, my boyfriend, who was always there for me and trying to help me through my run, especially when I was nervous. Shout out to my family that's watching, because I know a few of them are watching. Shout out to all the people that I've seen running Stray. I haven't met a lot of the people that run it, but all the people that I have. Shout out to Jew Horse for running it last time with a horrible mod that burns my memory still, but I think that's all that I got.
And that brings us to the end of our Fastest Furs live at FWA Marathon. But sit tight, we've got one less Thank You % finale credits coming up. It has been an honor to be your host for these final two games. Once again, my name is Sonic Mega. You're here at Fastest Furs live at FWA. Thank you all for your support, and we'll see you next time. I'm signing off.